Hello everybody and welcome back for some weekly VR news. As always, I am Mateo311 and this is your channel for everything VR related. So today, there are some massive stories to go over. Not only is there a long list of games dropping this week, but we also got new information about the Quest 3 Lite, PlayStation VR 2 PC support, and additionally, I really want to talk about the fact that I recently met so many people who are extremely passionate about VR on both the developer and consumer side during this last weekend where I was at Pax East. I really want to get into that. I tried to get as much information about new games like Behemoth and stuff. I wasn't super successful, but there are stories to tell. Now, there are, of course, links and timestamps if you want to skip ahead, but before we jump in, this video is brought to you by VR Rock, makers of prescription lens inserts for all of your favorite VR headsets. Quest 3 inserts are now available for purchase, and I'm extremely happy to announce that they've significantly dropped their pricing on this product. They magnetically connect for easy insertion and removal, so if you wear eyeglasses and struggle to fit them inside the VR headset, or you're concerned about scratching your lenses, go check out VR Rock down in the description, and don't forget to use discount code Mateo311 for 10% off and to help support my channel. So I'm going to breeze right through the check-in, which is normally where I talk about what I'm currently working on in the VR industry. I wanted to mention Pax East here, but I'm going to save that for later. Instead, I just have a quick question for you guys. Between these 4 titles, I can only really get to covering one this week. Which one should it be? Let me know in the comments. And that is Medieval Dynasty, Madison VR, Tropico, or MLB Homerun Derby. If you want to see me cover any of those games, let me know which one in the comments. Say, please cover, and enter the game name. So that's the check-in. Let's just move into this week's new releases. So this week is currently full of ports, spin-offs, and game updates. And let's start off with Medieval Dynasty New Settlement. This spin-off of a flat-screen title blends sandbox, role-playing simulation, and exploration mechanics. Your initial focus will be survival with tasks like gathering resources, but ultimately you're on a mission to create a lasting dynasty. Eventually you'll move on from building, cooking, hunting, and cultivating fields, to exploring lands outside of your territory, engaging in quests, and hopefully bringing home some sweet treasure. Overall, this game provides a unique blend of mechanics that we rarely see in VR. Now, if you'd rather just sit back, become El Presidente, and build a city, we have Tropico. This is a port of the flat-screen game Tropico 4, which includes not only the original 40 campaign missions, plus the DLC that was added over time, and a sandbox mode for extra replayability. It'll be your job to put this small piece of paradise on the map, turn it into the ultimate tourist experience, or maybe even a superpower. But in order to do that, you'll have to stay in power and hold on to the El Presidente title for as long as possible. Now, if you're not into world building and just want to smack some home runs, we have MLB Homerun Derby. This title's moving from App Lab onto the official Quest store, and it's now including authentic recreations of MLB stadiums, offline gameplay modes plus online multiplayer competition, plus a huge array of achievements and unlockables that you could show off in your own personal trophy room. Now, it doesn't matter if you're casual or super competitive, Homerun Derby is perfect for anyone who wants to hit a few baseballs. Now, for the horror fans out there, the highly anticipated Madison VR is on the way. This is yet another port of a flat screen title, and now you get to experience this super creepy psychological horror from a whole new perspective. It's nearly impossible to overemphasize just how much more impactful this game will be inside of VR. Madison's storyline has a demon forcing you to continue a gory ritual, and you'll experience the disturbing storyline of multiple different characters that seamlessly blend into one main narrative. Now, I'm not sure I have what it takes to make it through this game, because overall it looks absolutely terrifying. And today's last new release actually comes from an accidental PlayStation VR 2 drop. This first-person shooter adventure title was originally set to release for the PlayStation VR 2 in April, but somebody dropped the ball and the game came out early, and it also released missing its day 1 patch and store artwork. So if you are interested in trying this game on the PlayStation VR 2, I recommend you might want to wait until April 6th. As the developer stated, the game will be updated by then. This is a Metroidvania-style shooter, which has you trapped in a mysterious research lab in Antarctica that's been overrun by monstrous creatures. Now, lucky for you, you can print biologic material that can be used as tools and weapons, which is absolutely necessary because you're going to have to fight your way out. Now, this game is also fully narrated, so you will learn more about the overall storyline as you progress. So if you survive long enough, maybe you'll find out what the hell actually went down. Now, speaking of what the hell actually went down, I just wanted to take 1 second and talk about the accidental release of this game. I'm only mentioning it because I've heard this happen at least 2 other times on the PlayStation VR 2, and you gotta just wonder what the heck is going on over there. Like, is there just like one person in charge and they're like, game's live now? It's just really odd. I just wanted to mention it, but let's move on. Now, moving on into game updates, Angry Birds VR Isle of Pigs is getting a mixed reality mode plus a hand tracking update this week. Not only will this seamlessly blend the game's puzzles into your real-life environments, but you can even do things like bounce the birds off tables and walls. Now, I'm not sure this is the type of update that'll have people flocking back to the game, but it's definitely an awesome addition that I'm happy Resolution Games gave to us. Now, an even cooler update was the Gundam VR teaser trailer for this upcoming anime series that's being made specifically for VR. Mobile Suit Gundam Silver Phantom is an interactive virtual reality movie that features a brand new storyline and a whole new way to interact with this universe. Now, overall information is still a bit sparse, but I'll definitely follow this one and give you any updates I receive, as I've been absolutely dying for some VR anime experiences. Now, speaking of experiences, I wanted to mention my recent trip to Pax East, where I got to hang out with some awesome developers and just some all-around great people and content creators. It was fantastic, but the biggest takeaway was just how passionate these studios and pretty much everyone else is. The PlayStation Without Parole had their Gamecast meetup going there. I didn't hang out with them too much, but I did interact with them. Everyone I met was absolutely awesome. Even cooler, though, was the staff at Shell Games who showed off Silent Slayer. I'm looking forward to that game. Get a little laugh of me being scared here. Additionally, I did talk to someone from Skydance Interactive, but they were completely tight-lipped on Behemoth. But obviously they said, I think you're really going to like it, which is the most I got out of them. Now, one of the best conversations I had was with BJ, the lead developer for Legendary Tales. I absolutely love that game, and let me tell you, he is one of the most passionate individuals I have ever met. He truly wants his game to succeed. I can't go into details about our lengthy conversation, but I think him and his entire team are extremely talented. They brought something amazing to VR. They're trying to, raise the bar overall, and I wish him the absolute best. Super awesome dude. But like I said, guys, the passion in the VR industry, the amount of people who want to succeed and who are working so hard is incredible. The Pax East VR representation was absolutely terrible, something I want to try and get fixed in the future. We really got to show off VR to people. These are great opportunities to just be like, get a headset in someone's hand and be like, try this. And someone who's experienced, walk them through it and just blow their mind. That's the best way to showcase VR. Flat screen presentation doesn't do it. And to make matters worse, there was actually a PlayStation VR 2 on the floor, which was an absolute crap show. It was playing Captain Toonhead, if I remember correctly. It didn't have anyone showing people how to use it. The controllers were roped down, so freedom of motion wasn't really available. But also tracking is just hell in, some of those areas when you're open on the floor. There's so much IR interference. And someone kept coming around and every once in a while cleaning the headset with Clorox. So this is just a combination of the worst possible case to show off the PlayStation VR 2. It was a tragedy. It shouldn't have been on the floor, at least in my opinion. But overall, the story is VR is fantastic. Everyone working in VR continues to impress me so much. And just keep doing what you're doing. You guys are great. All the people I met there that are passionate about VR, keep it up. Content creators, Rough Talk, you guys are great. Everyone was awesome. Thank you guys for this weekend. It was probably my best meetup experience to date. But let's get back into the real stuff, guys. I have some hardware information that is also looking really awesome. Now, Meta has just recently dropped the price of the Quest 2 to $200, which I will say is an absolutely insane value. It's still a really good headset for PC VR, provides other excellent use cases like being a media center, and as of right now, there's really no Quest 3 exclusives, so you still have access to every single game out there. Now, I expect that will change in the future, and this price drop is most likely just to clear out the excess inventory and make way for the Quest 3 Lite, which appears to be having some recent leaks. Now, just like any leak, we can't be sure if it's actually true or if just small aspects of it are true and some of it's faked, so take all of this information with a grain of salt. As of right now, everyone's just making assumptions. Now, we do know a headset of this type, a Quest 3S or a Quest 3 Lite or whatever they end up calling it, is on the way. And we do know it will be cheaper than the Quest 3, or most likely cheaper than the Quest 3, because Quest 3 did bloat the price up significantly. So they obviously want to keep it down to get more people in their ecosystem. Now, how they're going to do that, they'll most likely cut some specs, which, this supposed leaked image does show like lower visual quality, less memory, 256 instead of 512, whatever the case may be. There's also no depth sensor. So that would impact mixed reality, which is a little strange because Meta's been pushing mixed reality so much. However, maybe they're able to pull off mixed reality to a certain degree without the depth sensor, and this is just fine. The Quest Pro doesn't have a depth sensor, so just expect a Quest 3 trimmed down a bit, a little lower specs, lower price. And whatever else they decide to remove or add or change, yep, we'll find out soon enough. But it looks like it's coming sooner rather than later, especially since they just dropped the price on the Quest 2. And today's final story is some good news, bad news for the PlayStation VR 2. You might have recently heard that an article from Bloomberg says that Sony has stopped producing PSVR 2 headsets because they just have so much overstock that they need to get rid of. Now, one great way to get rid of them that I've been saying for a very long time is make it compatible with PC VR, something Sony has admitted they're working on. And previously, we speculated it would be a streaming solution. You'd still have to use your PlayStation 5, which was just a horrible worst case scenario. Now, thanks to a recent firmware update, which has been confirmed by Ivory VR, they've now moving the PlayStation VR to PC VR compatibility. It does look like you will be able to directly connect your PlayStation VR 2 into a PC. It'll most likely still need some type of third-party hardware adapter. However, a direct native PC support is awesome. It's what we're all begging for. It is pretty much a future-proof headset with the eye tracking and the head haptics. There's lots of great options there. And I know the people who hate Meta or just want a headset that natively connects for one reason or another will move towards this, because in the PC VR field, there's really nothing cheap. And for $550, that's a pretty good deal, especially with all the bells and whistles it includes. Now, I also hope Sony also, drops the price tag a bit, gets it down closer to $400. Then they'll definitely get rid of that stock. And like I said, the next move forward for them would be get more of those headsets out there, work in conjunction with PC VR. You really need a player base of around 5 million, and you could do that between PlayStation VR 2 and PC VR users. You get close to 5 million. Now you have a development platform which definitely is a lot more conducive to developers. Now, honestly, they would want the 20 plus million that you get from Quest, but 5 is definitely a good starting point. And that right there was the good news, bad news for the PlayStation VR 2 and today's video. If you guys enjoyed it, you know what to do. Thumbs up. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. Hey, even if you're not new here, only 20% of the people who continually watch my videos are subscribed. So go check. Are you subscribed? If you're not, come on, do it. What are you waiting for? And of course, I'll see you guys on next time.